Okay, it's Sunday morning, and you catch me trying to define what the 679842 temperature sender in the early Volvo 140, what its temperature resistance profile should be, because I have a suspicion that the new ones you can buy are wrong. So what we have here is the gauge out of the early 140, and that is 14.1 ohms as a moving coil galvanometer, and that sits with 10 volts feeding into it, a regulated 10 volt supply feeding into it, and then connects down to earth through the 679842 temperature sender. So what I've set up is, okay, there's my computer waiting for the data to come in. And over here on the stove, we have my thermometer in a fairly large bath of water. And on the left is a genuine, correct, original Volvo temperature sender for the early 140. That will always be stamped 804/1/1. On the right is the item you can buy as a new unit, and that I think is not an accurate reproduction. So what I'm doing is about every 2 minutes, I read off the temperature there, and then have a look at the resistance. I'm on the 2K range, the resistance of each of those two temperature senders, and then locking it down. So if we go back to the table, here we go. I'm hoping this will work, but of course there might be it might be quite a bit of interference on the display here. But what we've got is there, we've got the temperature and the ohms. There is the graph, looking actually fairly sensible at the moment, but obviously as it gets lower resistance, it could be harder to keep a consistent curve. And on the bottom there is therefore the voltage at a regulated 10 volts that I should see at the spade connector of the sender. Well, I'm going to carry on. There's another good hour's work there as that temperature slowly rises, and I'll publish my results. There you go, bit of behind the scenes there for you. Have a good rest of the weekend.